We're just out in the middle of nowhere. We don't have any industry here, manufacturing facility. We're not a casino tribe, nothing here. So here we are in a 21st century, the people of the Oglala Lakota. It's a struggle here every day. Struggle to find income, struggle to, have money to buy food, medicine, groceries, gas, all of this. People forgot about us. People don't know of us. Today, we need 20,000 homes.
I've known people that waited 15 years on a waiting list just to get a house.
So you got 4,000+ per month on a waiting list. Every 90 days, you got to renew your application, and you can do that for the rest of your life. A 3-bedroom house, you can find 4 families living in there. Everybody's sleeping wherever they can. Houses are built so poorly, then they're not insulated well enough. It gets brutally cold here. You can feel minus 20 degrees on any given day throughout the winter months. They heat their homes with propane. Easily $500 per month. So you got 40 people living in a small house, combining their money, trying to keep the heat and the lights on. It's no surprise to families around here to hear of someone freezing to death, because that happens.
There's people staying in cars parked outside the gas station, with kids in there. So those type of things, that we can't just turn the blind eye anymore.
In late 2016, Aaron and I had this idea of starting a nonprofit. We wanted to begin out on the reservations out in South Dakota. Our goal was to provide energy independence for the community. Once we actually got our boots on the ground there and started talking with people and seeing the conditions there, we quickly learned that our solar model, our plan, was not going to work.
Henry is really the root of this whole thing, because we went to him and we said, let's talk about what you need. And I think he was pretty surprised to get that question, because I think they're pretty used to having people just show up and dictate their idea to them about what we're gonna do on the res. And so Henry said, look, I've been trying to figure out how to solve the housing problem here on Pine Ridge for the last 20 years.
So the ask was to find a home that would house a family appropriately out there for $20,000, just the structure itself. We knew that it had to be energy efficient. We knew it had to be strong to be able to take gale force winds. Black mold is a major problem out there. It had to be pest and mold proof.
And we said, okay, Henry, no promises, but we'll start trying to come up with something wacky.
We looked everywhere, and there really wasn't anything that hit that price point, that checked all the boxes. And so we didn't really have any other option but to go back to the drawing board. And what ended up happening is we invented something ourselves.
We found this charity that was building dome-shaped homes in the tropics. And what they were doing was using these inflatable bags they would inflate the bag, and then they'd put a little rebar around it, and then they just smear structural concrete around the outside, wait for it to dry, and then reuse the bag. It's super efficient financially, but it certainly won't work in a place like Pine Ridge, because if you just got 3 inches thick of structural concrete, you don't have any insulation value.
We had been researching this cellular concrete. This material is really kind of incredible. It's 80% air, so it's incredibly insulating as well as structural. Although it couldn't be applied the same way via shotcrete, we could put it between 2 nested balloons and essentially create a mold under pressure.
And then we sort of devised this system with the 2 bags that are nested and both inflated and held up with air pressure. And then you just pump the cellular concrete in between those and wait for it to dry. And once you're done, 14 hours later, you've got a structure that'll stand there that's hyper efficient.
About a month later, after initially coming up with this design, we had a working prototype in my basement, a small little prototype, but it essentially proved that this could work, that it's a viable option. And that's where this all started. 3-4 months later, we were building a full-size model, and by the end of the summer, we had a standing dome.
It's all built out of one piece, so there's no cracks, there's no gaps. It's its own insulation. The mass can soak up heat energy during the day, and then the insulation makes it so that that energy moves pretty slowly out of the walls.
But then it was time for us to go see Henry and see if we could actually get this done on the res.
Wanik Delo Yo, Waya Hoye, Waye Lo, Hey. This is what Aaron and Jason came up with. It's the way to go because it's low cost and high in efficiency. You can take a 100-watt light bulb and you can heat the place with it. You can take a family or 4 to 6 inside one of these homes and our BTUs from our bodies will heat the place. Now that's efficiency.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe tomorrow we'll have a new house.
I'm glad it's
Glad we
full.
got it done today.
Oh, man, makes you pretty excited. Yeah, me too.
Three years of working on this, and there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
This point, the actual structure, he was shooting for 20,000. We were getting it in 400 square feet for about 4,000 bucks for this structure. And then, now there's room in the budget to fill it out, put refrigerators in there, stuff like that, and do the electricity and give someone a completed unit for what we're hoping is around 15,000 completed.
Holy cow, look at this, huh? This is incredible.
Look at the kitchen right here.
But it's enough. Yeah, it's enough.
The people here, they're used to people getting promised, this is coming, this is not, and it's a lot of never comes, nothing never happens, So if this is able to go successfully and be able to be repetitive at least 50, 60 times here or more, and then that'd be nice, that'd be awesome for the community and people would give them a sense of, pride, it'd create some hope.
Where we are moving right now is training a group of 8 to 10 veterans to become crew leads so that in following years, 2023 and beyond, each one of them could be in full production and able to build between 5 and 10 homes per day per crew.
The importance of having a home is it's everything. It's the foundational first step on the path to achieving any kind of dignity, to achieving a stable family, to obtaining clean water. And dignity is a fundamental component in these marginalized communities being able to advocate for themselves. You can't even vote if you don't have an address. Their ability to self-advocate puts them in a position where it's much more difficult for people to come in and do destructive or extractive behaviors, so they can be stewards of the land.
To look further down the road to 7 generations. We say, we going. The next 7 generations. That's what started the plan 3 years ago, is thinking of 7 generations down the road. Let's partner up. Let's see what we can do.